travelled up to the country. Of course, these guys were former winners of the Supercharged Outlaws category at the Western Sydney International Dragway, the last event that was held there. So these guys coming off a high, but what's more remarkable is they actually weren't even meant to be in the field. It's fantastic that they're here and in the second round.
Jackson anyway, so really didn't matter. Talk about some bad attitude. Here is Charlie McCarley in the BA Falcon.
Yes, we just mentioned Benny Gatt. This car used to be owned by Benny Gatt. This was Benny Gatt's second car, and this car was at one stage, and I think still may be, the quickest and fastest true Ford in the world. By that I mean it actually ran a Ford engine, not just a Ford body, like a lot of cars in drag racing occasionally do.
Brett Hall lining up alongside him in the Holden. So that is a mean-looking BA.
Yes, Hoare in the world's fastest EH. He's been around and is doing a pretty good job. Hoare qualified a little bit further down the field than what he would have liked. Of course, our #1 qualifier in Supercharged Outlaws, Aaron Hambridge, ran a 6:34 and unfortunately broke down. But speaking of breaking, well, McCarley's not going to go through the next round because he just red-lighted.
Man, he come out of the blocks like an absolute rocket. Hoare gets the win, a 7:69 at 254.5 k's an hour. The Batmobile unable to do anything about it. That thing just launched off.
Yeah, McCarley unfortunately too quick, would you believe, by 1/100th of a second. So a very, very fine red light there. Look how close it would have been on the finishing line. He probably would have got the win had he not.
Welcome back to Western Sydney International Dragway. It's Callaghan Wholesale Cars quarterfinal time for the Supercharged Outlaws, and John Cannulli, who had all sorts of dramas in his previous run. That car was crab walking, Nathan.
Yeah, the car launched pretty ugly indeed and headed straight for the centre line. He's up against Brett Hoare this time in the 1964 EH Holden. Hoare dialed in with a 764. Cannulli has gone for the 735. Now, what's interesting about that is the car certainly can run 730s, but it hasn't yet. They have to get it down the racetrack if he's going to beat Hoare.
The Musashi sponsorship, Brett and Nick, obviously joint owners, and the Mums Win sponsored entry. Beautiful looking car. The EH is out of the blocks brilliantly. You know, if he doesn't break out, this will be a walk in the park for Hoare.
Yes, Hoare, I think he pedals it through. He did get off the throttle and still gets the win with a 791 at 259 kilometres an hour to move into the semi-finals. Have a look at this. Both cars very ugly indeed. Hoare heads for the wall, gets off the throttle, but have a look at Cannulli's car, all out of shape. I think they've got too much horsepower.
Customer. Likewise, this man will be too if he's able to get himself into the final. Brett Hoare, beautifully turned out EH. Up against Tom Jackson in the Chevy Coupe. Now, Jackson has been stout, but Hoare has put some really solid passes in.
Yeah, Hoare dialed in with a 767, Tommy Jackson a 7-1. So that car will be doing all the chasing. You'll see the EH lead first, and then the Chevy to chase him down.
Such a great crowd here for the Snap-on Tools Nitro champs. It's really captured the imagination of Sydney, this spectacular venue.
Callaghan Wholesale Cars bringing us Supercharged Outlaws, 4 rounds of eliminations. Hoare gets out, Jackson to do the chasing now. Tommy Jackson, can he catch him? Look at this on the finishing line. Jackson breaks out. Hoare gets the win. 3/1000ths of a second too quick for Tommy Jackson. Brett Hoare gets the win with a 774.
You don't have to be dead to be stiff. Hoare, as usual, like lightning off the line. Jackson looked like he might have played his cards absolutely second perfect, but in the end, as you said, breaking out. So Hoare, a happy man indeed. That EH is really knocking over some big skittles. He's into the final. He'll be wrapped.
Yeah, we've had a bit of trouble today. We've destroyed a starter motor. Well, it's still hanging in there, but it's not looking very healthy, and we've been backing the timing out to try and get it down the track. So we had a bit of a squirrel there earlier against the guys in the Tirana. I had to pedal it real hard through a lot of concrete. So we're just happy to be in the final at our first appearance at West Sydney.
I was just telling Tommy he broke out by 3/1000ths of a second.
Bad luck, man. I didn't know where you were. I pedaled it, and then all of a sudden your truck passed me. So I'm glad you broke out, but I'm sorry.
Well done, guys.
Thanks, man.
Right.
Thank you.
Well, no time at all for turnaround here, Nathan. We're going straight to the final. The Callaghan Wholesale Cars final for Supercharged Outlaws. No time at all, really, for preparation.
Yes, time is ticking away on the schedule, so they've had to turn these cars around in 15 minutes. Normally they need around about 45, so they've had no time to do their general between-round maintenance. And the team's a little concerned about the way the cars are going to perform. And the ex-Tony and Cameron Brooks car just coming forward now of Paul Grigini. Certainly a great job. He'd like to thank his crew for just the effort they've put in to get this car here for the final.
Well, Brett Hoare, can he knock off the Corvette? His form has been stellar so far. You have to lean a little towards the Musashi entry.
Well, the one thing that the Musashi entry has got in its favour is being the slightly slower car, 760 versus a 650 car, is you would assume that its between-round maintenance would be a little bit less than that of the Corvette. However, the Corvette does have the performance advantage. We'll have to wait and see. Grigini having trouble staging the car now. It's starting to creep through stage. You can see the car shunting forward. The clutches on these cars, when they get hot, it's hard to get them into stage, and he is red-lighted. Hoare gets the wheel stand and the win.
Well, Hoare, his form has been outstanding throughout the weekend, though it doesn't look like it ends particularly pretty. A lot of smoke out the back of the EH, but he has done the biz in the final of Supercharged Outlaw. It locks up and stops.
Yes, an 824 at only 129 miles per hour. That car had a bit of smoke out of it, and I'd say a bit of a drama there. Have a look at this on the replay. Grigini creeps through stage. Hoare gets the wheels in the air, and just past half track, the Musashi entry starts to produce a fair bit of smoke out of the back of the car and then pulls up in a hurry. Obviously, not enough time between rounds to do the maintenance needed, and the car broken down.
Grigini will be disappointed, but the race winner might be too.
First trip to West Sydney, so we're ecstatic that we've got the car down the track. A little disappointed with the way the meeting ended up. We were told to turn it straight around after the semi-final. A blown car, that's not a good thing. As a result, I'd suggest we've done some damage. Engine was too hot. We did no maintenance. All we did was just fueled it and towed it to the start line. We lost power at half track. I don't know what's wrong with it. We got the wind light. I don't know what happened to Paul. I think he went up in smoke. Again, probably a bit of pressure on him. Got the clutch wrong, and so that's what happens when you get stressed. But we're here at West Sydney and we won, so we're very happy.
Well done, mate.
Thanks very much for your time.
Round of competition.
See some great looking cars. Here is Brett Hoare and the EH Holden with the Musashi sponsorship on board, the Chevy 516. And this thing is a great looking entry. Daniel Reid, the T-Bucket.
Yes, son of Steve and Debbie Reid. But what's incredible about this is Brett Hoare wasn't even meant to be in the field. He only got the call 10 minutes ago to make it to the racetrack with all the disqualifications in another car unfortunately dropping out. The Musashi entry is lucky to be here in the first round of eliminations up against the track champion Reid. A 4:00 light for Hoare, but a red light for Reid. Hoare goes through to the next round. How's that for luck?
Geez, only 10 seconds away from the call-up. He did a great job to be there, and now he goes through. And this is a beautiful looking car too, the EH Holden, the Musashi entry. It should look good. It's polished lovely by Ben, Isabel, Jack and Tom. The 4 kids. Man, where does Brett Hoare get the time to be doing that with his lovely wife, Nicole?
Yes, they certainly love their racing and travelled up to the country. Of course, these guys were former winners of the Supercharged Outlaws category at the Western Sydney International Dragway, the last event that was held there. So these guys coming off a high, but what's more remarkable is they actually weren't even meant to be in the field. It's fantastic that they're here and in the second round.
Used to be the proprietors of an Autobarn store. They're now working from home in the Mums Win family business. And away goes Hoare Sarkis with a lot of work to do. Sparks from underneath that car. The Centura's not going to get there. Hoare hosing a bit of smoke or vapour off the side. Will run it through.
Yeah, Sarkis with some problems, but Hoare gets the win. 783 at only 207 kilometres an hour. So rolled off the throttle. He'll be back for the semi-finals a little bit later on. Speaking of the next competitors, Brett Hoare. Can you believe it? He wasn't meant to even make the field. He's on his way to the final. Daniel Callahan has oil pressure problems. Brett Hoare gets the solo pass. He's going to stage the car, save on maintenance, and make his way to the final.
With 4 kids, mate, they couldn't possibly have a racing budget. So I'd say that's what they're going to take, the easier option. As well they may. Well, that, as you said, they weren't even going to be in the field.
Well, we got the final coming up real soon.
Well, this is it. Final time now for the ITEL Community Telco Supercharged Outlaws. at the Willowbank Raceway Winternationals. Well, Brett making a fair effort of it in the burnout situation.
Yeah, nice big burnout for the huge crowd. He's very happy. Let's face it, he didn't even think he was going to go racing today. He had officials run up to him prior to the first round and say, hurry up, mate, we've had a car drop out. And look at this, he's in the final. Peter Merrigan has also done a great job with this 352 cubic inch small block Chev-powered T-bucket to make it this far. He's been running very consistently, but he's always been just above that dial-in. Let's see if he's changed it for the final. No, still with a 740 and 825 for Hoare. So this car has run 760s before. I think what Hoare's looking to do is keep a little bit up his sleeve, go out hard, and then get off the throttle if he needs to.
From Echuca Moama in Victoria, couldn't be any further away from home as they get set here at Willowbank.
Oh, problems for Merrigan. I saw the car struggling to stage, and Brett Hoare is the winner of the ITEL Community Telco Supercharged Outlaws here at the Winternationals. That's 2 wins in a row for the team. Congratulations, Nicole and Brett. Great job.